How different parts of the house and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, this is a crazy way to get a bag. And then like growing up, we worked with my Uncle Ange, and you know, Justin gravitated to him more because that was more electrician, like field wise. But I like the demo, because you know you can make $100 a day real quick. Oh, just demo out this real quick. Take 4 hours, knock out the demo. Now you pay, you ain't gotta work the rest of the day. It's over. Like you probably work early in the morning from like 8 to 12. Now you done. Like I'm out of here. Like I got the rest of my day. I got paid. Justin's still there working, but he's actually learning more. I'm just taking the quick way out. So it's like if I would have took my time, actually stayed and learned and listened, I probably would be an electrician too. But it's not bad because I'm a carpenter now too, so it's like I learned a lot more with Paradise than he knows. Like I can do a lot more in the house than all he could do is lights. I can do everything else. So it's like, you know what I mean? So it's better. It's better. Like, you know what I mean? It's a little bit different, but
Some I want to say something like second grade, something like that. Yeah. And you know, we had these two twins running around, creating trouble, running around acting crazy. I'm like, yo, this is too early, man. But you know, we got cooled in. Then I want to say y'all spent a year there or 2 years there?
Yeah, like a year.
Like a year in Duval, then bounce, and then we didn't see y'all again
till 6th grade.
Seventh.
Seventh grade.
Seventh grade. So 7th grade came back to Copay.
Yeah.
And from that time, from 7th grade, it's weird how twins work because it's like, it's y'all always flip-flopping identities. One time this one making a mess and this one cleaning it up. The other time this one making a mess, this one cleaning it up.
That's a fact.
So from that time on, from the time that I've known y'all in 7th grade till now, it's been that, but it's been progress, right? It's been little stuff that might have derailed y'all at the moment, done little things, but it's been progress, you know what I'm saying? Y'all always, this is why y'all my guys now, y'all been my guys for the longest, y'all were my guys then, because I know y'all think, I know y'all smart, y'all know y'all got a good head on y'all shoulders, you know what I'm saying? Despite all y'all been through, despite all of that, y'all know what y'all here for, you know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
So, just to give the people a little bit of an understanding, like what are some of the challenges that y'all had to deal with, maybe going up right before y'all, let's say right before y'all really got into y'all fields or what y'all was doing, like, y'all don't gotta get into the detail, you know what I'm saying? But as much as y'all want to talk about.
Everyone had like a dream of being an athlete. And for a lot of young black men in the community, they believe it's either you go to college for sports or your parents are fortunate enough to send you to college with money. And for me, my twin brother's situation, that it definitely wasn't, the money aspect wasn't there. So we knew if we didn't go to college for sports, there was no way we were going. So we were bad kids, you know, we got in trouble. We weren't too bad, but we just did a lot of knucklehead stuff.
Y'all weren't bad kids, man. Y'all were trying to get into it, man. Y'all didn't have much, you know what I'm saying?
So we would do little things just to make a quick dollar. But in that time frame, through the grace of God, that I did have a family member that was an electrician. And during the summer, he asked me, you want to make some money? And I was working at McDonald's at the time. I always pretty much had a job, but I was working at McDonald's at the time. And he asked us to be electricians. He's like, yo, you're going to make more money as an electrician than you would doing a McDonald's job. Mm-hmm. McDonald's job was easier, but I didn't understand that trade would be what I would be doing today. Because I was focused on, you know, being a ladies' man, just want to be in the town, giving the girls free burgers, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I got you, you know what I mean? Yeah. But he took us on the job, and then from the first day I went on that job, I realized I love this. And if I don't go to college, this is what I'm ultimately going to do. So, you know, I caught the full ride and got in trouble with the law, did my bid, came home, and I was at Nassau. And then the team wasn't how Boston College's team was when I went to go play.
Okay.
So it was like, yo, I'm starting all over again. I got to make my name known again. And then he came to me, he was like, yo, you can make $1,000 a week just being my helper. We have a job at Hamptons going on. So I took the money and ran. College going on the back burner. And I could make good money because I was gonna go to college, and if I didn't go pro, I'd have been a gym teacher. So I'm making more money now than some of the teachers in high school. You know what I mean? So I said, through the grace of God, let me take this opportunity. I went with it, and being an electrician that's the best thing that kind of happened to me. Yeah, after my fall from what I thought was the best thing that happened to me, actually being an electrician, being able to provide for my family, getting to the union, getting married, having a stable income, not having to look over your shoulders from trapping. Me and my wife just recently bought a house. So there's definitely money inside the trade than just going to college or being an athlete. You know, because sometimes those dreams are shattered and you spend all that time trying to play pro-am basketball, doing this and that, and you didn't put enough time in doing something that could actually benefit from the long game.
And you touched on something just now with the whole school thing and going not from a school thing, but playing sports. You know, it's like every kid that you know from your hood wants to do something in sports.
That's a fact.
And if you know 20 kids, 10 of them want to play football, 10 of them want to play basketball. So you competing, if you want to play football, you one of those 10. If you're playing basketball, you one of those 10. So you're already competing with 10 people. Then you get to your school, you got a bunch of people who you got to beat out in school. Then you get, it's in middle school, then it's in high school. Then you going AAU, you playing with the country or your local AAU circuit. Then you messing, like you go to college and you playing on that level and you dealing with all the kids in the country. And it's like, then if you go into the pros, now you're dealing with the whole world. You got Europeans, you got people from Africa coming, you know what I'm saying? You got everything. So like, the amount of people the amount of jobs that are in the NBA, you gotta think, what is 15 people on each team, 30 teams, like do the math. That versus the millions, maybe billions of people that want to play. That's a small window. It's a tiny window, you know what I'm saying? And so like, and it's easy for one to make this mistake to end it because you got so many people who's ready to take that slot. You know what I'm saying? Like, just ready. Like, oh, nah, Jesse doing this. Oh, nah, I'm on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so trade jobs and these jobs that, let's be real, like, people look down on a lot of times. Like, they be like, oh, nah, you don't want to work with your hands. You don't want to do this. You don't be out there busting your ass. But when you busting your ass like that, like you making money, you can make a lot of money real fast.
That's
like,
a fact.
If you do it the right way, you can make a lot of money real fast, and then you own your own practice. You got you do the electrician thing. I come and work with you and be like, yo, you know what I'm saying? How do I do this? How do I do that? If I would have stayed in New York, we could have started something, and I would have been working under you. You would have started your your thing. So, and then likewise with you, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure that you could bring. I'm sure Docs came on you a few jobs.
Yeah, Doc definitely came.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Docs, but
see what I think about it is the education system is what fails us because everyone pushes college. They don't really explain to, I would say, the minorities that if you do or go to tech, you could provide for your family as well as you could with going to college. College is if you're really ready to work in the corporate world, and then you walk out of college with student loans. You go to a trade school, FAFSA, or you could pay it out of pocket, and then automatically you're making money. While you're in trade school, you can go get a job and make money right away. You can go to trade school today, then tomorrow go apply to a company, and they will hire you as an apprentice.
All right, okay.
That's gonna be beneficial to you because you'll start off with a company, and you could be like me, my twin brother here, end up running your own business. But I was fortunate enough to start young, because now when guys come to me now at the age of 25 and better, and you try to start a career, you start from the bottom. And apprenticeship usually is about 5 to 6, 7 years, depending on how gradually you can pick up on your trade. As an electrician, I would say it's more of, we call the prima donnas of the trade, because we're not doing nothing heavy. We cut open holes, and Jesse is left to spackle, let it dry, sand, let it dry, spackle again, and then paint. We come in there, run some wires, and we walking out with a bag. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. And we're not called back until the job is ready to be put on plate covers, putting some outlets, some switches, and putting in light bulbs. You know what I mean? And that's where it's at. But back to the school thing, I feel like they don't stress that, okay, if you go get a trade, it's okay to go to tech, get a trade, and go to work right away. We look down upon it because college is so bigged up for more than what it really is, when you can go to the trade and start working next month and be making a good $45,000 a year as an apprentice level, and you're gonna move up. But they would tell the white kids that, listen, go get a union job. If you feel like you can't hack it in college, go get a union job. But to me, that was never expressed to me when I was in college until after I talked to people, and he was like, yo, bro, you can make $58 an hour after 5 years. You spend 4 years in college, I spend 4 years working in a union job. My 5th year, I'm making $58 an hour. So you just spent 4 years in college. Now you equivalent up.
Say that again, because we had a little bit of an interruption.
Yeah.
You said after 4 years in trade school, you could be making $58 an hour.
So you do 4 years of apprenticeship in the union. You do 1 more year as an MIJ, and then you're making $58 an hour right out of high school. So by the time you're 23, 24 years old, you're making $58 an hour. And then with overtime, you're making over $100K a year.
There it is.
And kids are coming in out of college, starting off as an intern or low base salary, and not making nothing, and still have to pay back all those student loans that they took out for those last 4 years to get your bachelor's or go into a master program, and now you're stuck with all this student loan. You just went to trade school, you pay that off already, and then now you're making $58 an hour. So people that went away to colleges, and now they coming home and they're looking for jobs, and I already have one, and my life is have started, and I'm so further along than a lot of guys that coming from college, even though they got a degree, you're still stuck at a base salary, and I already was there 3 years ago. The benefits, there's pros and cons. It just depends on what you want to do. So I really want to talk to all the men out there that feel like, oh, 9 to 5s is not worth it. If I can't get it in the street, there's no other way. If I don't go to college, there's no other way. There's another way. You just got to be willing and ready to put that same hustle you applied in the street to doing your job. It's a skill. It's a craft. And as an electrician, you just don't do it at work. Your aunt may call you. Your friend's mom may call you. I need you to do this and do that. And you making, yo, bro, you seen it. We went on the job, made $300 in, an hour and dip. You know what I'm saying? That's faster than, like, that's the most money you can make, you know what I'm saying? Like, going on down the block, and now you're risking your freedom to do that.
Yeah.
I could go in there, people, they're allowing you in the house, go do a job in an hour, make $500, just mess around with a couple breakers. So it's definitely worth it.
See, I look at it like the problem is a lot of people don't have them resources growing up. Like, nobody knew anything about any of this before, like nobody could teach us this, you feel what I'm saying, growing up. So like we were lucky enough and blessed enough to figure this out, like through family members and through talking to different like men throughout work history, you know what I mean? So it's like if people were taught this at a younger age, like I bet college might not be the route, because you know if like I feel like college is the route if you play sports, if you're a sports player. But if you like if you want to rap or do other stuff, it's like get a trade, because you need money along the way. You need to learn how to make money and work for yourself. This is like a way for you to open up. Like it's an avenue for you to learn how to work for yourself and like to budget your money and know how to like make your money work for you on an everyday basis, because like working for yourself, it's not like you work on the books. It's not like, okay, every Friday I have a set paycheck. This is how much I know I'm gonna make every week. You know what I mean? Now working for yourself, you don't know how much you're gonna make every week. Some jobs you might get, some jobs you might not. You might be off for a whole month. That's why you gotta learn how to budget your money, learn how to pay which bills is more important than the next bill. So it's like you just gotta, and this is what keeps your grind going. This is what keeps you going, because like the way I work and the way how his life is set up is completely different. Like, you know what I mean? Like electrician, like you'll have a lot of different little jobs that can keep you paid. My jobs, I have a lot of big jobs that I have to finish in time so I can still get paid. So it's like his jobs are quick, fast. My jobs are long term, but I got to get them done in a short period of time so I can get so I can fulfill the contract and get paid. Because if I don't fulfill that contract, say I'm gonna have this job done in 3 weeks and I have it done in 4, now she has a right not to pay me the rest of that money because I didn't uphold to my side of the contract. So it's like there's different ways around different things. So it's like you gotta really be on point. That's what keeps you on your grind, keeps you hustling. Like I can't slip, I can't fall off because I need this bread. So it's like it's a different way of how you live your life. Like it's just it's sporadical,
I feel like that part that you're talking about is really, I think it's really attractive to people who, a lot of people who come from where we come from, and live in that street life, you know what I'm saying? Like, that hustling and boom, moving, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, you gotta make sure it's shaking, you gotta make sure you're taking care of that, you gotta that keeping your mind going, that, I think that motivates, or that is important for people that come from that background. They need to hear that because that's a lot of times that's what they think they feel like they don't want to get away from that when they go to these jobs and get other jobs, because when you get a job it's like, all right, I'm going.
It's the constant same thing.
At the end of the week, I'm gonna get paid the same thing. Like, all right, but if they hear these stories, like, oh nah, I could do a job I could talk to a person that's all right. He wants to pay me $10,000 to do this, his living room. All right, cool. I just spoke to another person that same day that said they want to pay me $5,000 to do their bathroom. All right, now I got to budget out and see, all right, it's going to take me how long to do this, how can I get this done in this amount of time to get, like, you got to start figuring out and moving and shaking how you want to make sure that you maximize your time and get the most money as quick as possible.
That's a fact.
So, and then also, so Justin just talked about, like, kind of the route that I would say a little bit more the cleaner route into the trade life. Like, you go into the union, you go to school, you get a job, and that's, if it works, if that's your path and that works, then that's cool, that's perfect, you know what I'm saying? That's how, most people would like to do it. They get as much knowledge as they can, go right into the career and move forward. But knowing you, I believe that you took a lot of a different route to get to where you get to.
See, mine was like back and forth. I played in the streets and I played at work. So it's like, with Paradise, he had like a son, like a father-son relationship type of thing. So it's like, that's a fact. That's my guy. He kind of scolded me about a lot of stuff I was doing. Like, he taught me a lot with the home improvement, like carpenter way of working. Well, I was like from sanding, painting, spackling, everything else. Like the basic knowledge you need for carpentry. He taught me everything there is to know. Then he taught me more stuff like how to stay on the floor, to welding, to silding, crown molding, to everything. Like, he taught me every single thing there is to know about a house, basically. So it's like, and this is all like throughout the course of maybe like 4-5 years on and off, playing the street, going back to work, off and on, So it was like, our relationship was crazy because it's like, I learned so much to where it's like, I bet I know enough, so now I can go on going on my own, because we came to like a headbutt type of situation to where it's like, I want more, but you're not doing more. I need more from you. I need you to show me more. I need you to take on more responsibility. But it's like, nah, I still wanted the babyish. Like, I want to still want the baby. Like I didn't want to drive to work. I still want him to pick me up to work. You know what I mean? Like, so all the extra stuff he was doing for me in the beginning, he stopped doing, because like now it's like, all right, you're getting old enough, you're making more. So it's like, now you need to contribute more. It's like, nah, I still want it more. So it's like, all right, since you want to act like that, just going on by your own. So I'm like, all right, bet. So now I started my own business now. So it's like.
So what was that like, getting that first, what was the process to getting the first job? And then how did it feel?
All right, the first job I actually did by myself was Ronnie's mom's bathroom.
Okay.
Now that actually came about from a business deal that went bad. Okay. So I owed my boy a situation. So I'm like, I bet I'll redo your mom's bathroom. The bathroom came out spectacular. She loved it. I'm like, I bet. So now I'm gonna start working for myself. So that's how it really started. Then 40.
didn't know that was the first one.
Then your uncle, 44.
Okay.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And 44 came
Uncle
about.
Boost.
That's what I'm trying to say. So then that's how the hustle and bustle started. Then more jobs started rolling. I started posting. I started getting booked for mad jobs, and everything started clicking like clockwork. That's how it happened. So it's like everything just took off. Like then I started getting jobs booked everywhere. You know what I mean? And then Asia's fiance at the time told me about his people's house that needed to be redone. So it's like mad jobs started popping up. Then it just started spreading like crazy. After those first 3 jobs hit, it was just gone. It was just taking off.
And then you took your different route and you got your job. Every time I talk to you, even today, right? We were planning this today and you was like, yo, I don't think I'm gonna make it because I'm supposed to do the side work, you're supposed to do the side job. So every time I talk to you with your free time, 9 out of 10, you're going to do side work. So even though you have a job and you can still step out and you have, like I said, every time I talk to you, you got some work to do. You got tons of work to do. So how'd you go that route and still get jobs within your community, within like around word of mouth or whatever the case may be?
So when I first started doing the electrical work at 14, I worked right underneath my uncle, and he was running his own company at the time. Him and a guy named Paul, and they showed me the ins and outs, just not on the electrical aspect, but also as the business aspect, how to price out what we're looking for, what needs to be done. So they showed me how everything should be priced out. So I worked underneath them for a while, and then it was time for me to leave the nest, and I started working for different companies until I made it into the union. Now, your regular job is going to make sure that you can provide for you and your family. The side jobs is the reason why we're able to do what we do. Have parties, get drippy, have fun, and experience life. As an electrician, someone's always in need for an electrician. You're an essential worker, just like carpentry. The trades, they're always going to need you because things are always being built, things are always being tore down. The reason why I take on so much electrical jobs is just to make sure my wife and my daughter have abundant, and I can have abundant. So even though you work your regular job and you come home, it doesn't have to end there. People want things done in the community, and they know you, and I'm well involved in the community. I try to be around a lot of people, and then when they find out that you're an electrician, people will be like, yo, I want to change my ceiling fan, but I don't want no one charging me crazy. And I believe in the blessing business. Don't get me wrong, I'm going to get paid, but I'm also going to look out. I'm not going to charge you $350 if you call a regular electrician. I might charge you just $200 flat. Now you save $150. You good, and I'm good. Now everybody is happy. You know what I mean? So that's how I kind of look at it. So that's why my phone is always ringing for me to come do a job, because I'm going to do it right, and it's going to get done right, but I'm also charging cheaper than a regular electrician would charge.
Okay. And
that's a fact. That's a big fact. Like, I like beating prices. So, me, like, I work hard for less, I would say, but you got to in the beginning just so you can get your clientele out there. You showing love at the same time. Some people might not be licensed, so it's like some things are illegal, you feel what I'm saying, until you get licensed, because you do need permits for certain places. Like, say if you're doing a big job, you have to get permits because like Suffolk and Nassau permits are completely different. So it's like you need certain permits and guidelines if you're working outdoors or if you're replacing windows and the police might see it. So it's like certain things, you got to do according to law, but certain things you don't. So, you gotta show love, you gotta cut them prices down. So I like to beat other people's prices, especially if I know somebody's getting super overcharged. Somebody's a nice price is probably like $10,000, but somebody's charging them $27,000, and you hear about it, you're like, what, excuse me, ma'am, are you for real? Well, I'll charge you 10. Actually, no, I'll even charge you 8. You know what I mean? Just to get the job, and you're going to get it. It doesn't take much work, but you just know that these people are charging crazy price. And when you hear that it's coming from a certain company, I don't want to say it on the podcast, but when you hear that it comes from a certain company, you're like, what? How are they doing you like that? And that's family. It's like, oh, crazy, that's crazy. Nah, I got you for the low, because she's going to pay you that right. Oh my God, you just saved me. Right now, cancel that hold. Yeah, let me get this done for my aunt. Now she's going to put she's gonna tell all her friends all about it, all over the phone. Oh yeah, you see what this company tried to do to me? So now she's putting everybody on. Oh, my nephew does it. He did such a beautiful job. They come over see it. Now they telling all their nieces, uncles. So now your business is just word of mouth. Everything's just spreads, and then you get phone calls. This business is taking off. It's taking off. That's just how it takes off, man. It's gotta be patient, but eventually it takes off. Like, it's gotta be on the grind. That's it. In the beginning, you might not want to work non-stop, but you have to just to get it going. Like, you gotta sacrifice. That's a sacrifice. Like, sleepless nights, you only sleeping 2 hours in your van, running to the next job. I'm telling you, like, it's real. It gets real. Like, it's like that's what I'm trying to say. It's like being in the trap. Like, hold on, that phone ring, I'm jumping up. It's like just like that. But you getting jobs, and you working at different jobs. It's like just the hustle. You constantly moving, your body tired. But that's why you need workers. You need good workers that's gonna be with you. That's gonna invest their time and energy into the company too. That sees the future, that sees that end goal. Like, I bet I know we're gonna be this big one day. We just gotta put this time and grind it right now until we get that. So we get them loans and all that. So we don't have to work as hard later on. It's like, we young. Let's get it done now. So in the future we can sit up like, yeah, we did that. You know what I mean? Like, wow.
Yeah.
That's it.
You gotta have good work.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta, like you said, if you're doing a bathroom or you're doing a kitchen rather, you redo the kitchen, they gonna call whoever come over, they gonna have parties at the crib, they gonna say, oh, look at this night, like, who, you know what I'm saying? But if you did it, shitty job, terrible job, they gonna be like, yo, what's going on here? Or you had to repay somebody else to do it, then that look bad on your rep. Like, have you ever dealt with early on the bad side of that and then learn lessons from it? Like, yo, I gotta make sure that, was it anything specific where you like, damn, I didn't do this crown molding right? I don't know.
Nah, see, Paradise told me, like, if you're gonna do something right the first time so you don't have to come back and do it again. Sure. So meaning, like, even if it takes you all day to do it right the correct way, you gotta keep cutting it if the cut's not right or this not, do it correctly the first time so you don't have to come back and do it again, because now if somebody else has to point out your mistake, then you're gonna look foolish, and you know you did. Like, so it's like, what's the purpose? Like, really, what's the purpose? Who you lying to? Like, just do it right the first time so you don't have to do it again. That's it. It's like, and have good work. Trust your work. 10 to 11 kid, TLC. That's what he called it. Put some 10 to 11 kid on it. You know what I mean? That's it.
I look at it like it's your name is your brand. Once you step out into that, into the role of being on your own when it comes to doing your own work. To answer your question, I feel like the first 5 years of your job, the first 5 to 6, 7 years, studying underneath someone is the most important. Paying attention to detail, asking questions. No question is the wrong question. If you don't know how to do something, you ask. Because you don't ever want to get caught out there doing a job and you not know what you're doing, and that holds up, or you got to come back the next day. People want their stuff. They want you in and out. And that's the most important part, I would say, is definitely the first 5 years of learning your trade, learning the material, learning how everything works. But don't get me wrong, because every time changes and things evolve and things change.
Okay, yeah.
And going to school, I would say, is the most important part, because you know how things work, why they work, and if things break or things that aren't working right, you learn how to troubleshoot. And that's the biggest part in the electrical field, is when things aren't working, now you have to sit there and figure out why isn't it working. And that's mostly the calls that you're gonna get. My light is out, why is it working? Is it the switch or is it the light? You gotta know how to test for continuity, you gotta make sure the voltage is there. Now you know it's not in the switch, it's in the light just went bad. So that's the most important part on going there, diagnosing the problem and fixing the right thing so they don't call you back. And that's what I would say. And then you gotta also look at it. You're the brand. You're selling yourself. And if you don't do it right, that's when your job stops. You know what I mean? Because if enough people say, yo, no, he's not good at what he's doing, then you're not good at what you're doing. So there was a job I was on where I couldn't figure out what was going on with the outlets. So I had to call my uncle. I was like, yo, I got positive. I'm getting a hot leg, but the neutral seems to be non-existent. What do I do? He's like, you gotta get the neutral over there. Through the grace of God, you can mess around and make the ground the neutral and make sure the outlet works, but 9 times out of 10, a lot of people don't want you opening their walls. So it's a lot with your customer. What do you want me to do? You want me to fix it just for now, temporarily? So you just gotta be well-rounded in your craft before you decide to step out. You know, I'm gonna make my own money. You gotta know from A to Z. And if you don't know how to fix something, the best thing to always do is to call that person you work for, build relationships, because it's all about networking in the industry. Because you could do a job for somebody that needs an electrician, then you find a carpenter. Now you guys are working hand to hand. Or someone that's doing HVAC, they need an electrician. Now they're calling you on every job you're doing. So it's definitely, you gotta just grasp everything for those first 5 or 6 years. It's a growth process. It's slow money at first. But once you understand what you're doing, chicken is coming.
Yeah. All right. So how does that feel for y'all? Like, yo, like you like know, like, yo, all right, yo, you need some work on your kitchen. All right, yeah, I could call my brother. You know what I'm saying? And not just any brother, like my twin. Like, he'll show up to the crib, like, yo, what? Oh, like, you know what I'm saying? And vice versa for you. Like, yo, you need some work. Oh, bet. All right, let me call my brother. You know what I'm saying? How does that feel for y'all?
Like, honestly, it's crazy, but like I knew from a young age we was gonna end up doing something with building or working with our hands, because anything we ever had to do, like, you know how like build our dress up, you know how different dresses and stuff like that come in boxes and you gotta build it. You know what I mean? Like, we used to have like a butter knife. We didn't have screwdrivers, shit like that, because we had females that my grandma, my aunt, and my aunts, they raised us, so like they didn't have like screwdrivers, shit like that. So we used to put together shit like with like butter knives and shit like that, and they would be sturdy too, because we make sure they tighten up fast and all that shit. So it's like computer stands, shit like that. You feel what I'm saying? We put together. You know what I mean? It would just be crazy shit. And I just like, yeah, we're gonna end up building something. Like, we're gonna end up doing something with our hands. So it's just crazy how today, like, he's dead electrician and I'm a carpenter, and it's like it's just crazy how life just worked out. Like, it just happened out of nowhere. Like, it's just really happened. It's crazy how it happened, but I feel like something's just destined. Like, it just works out that way. Wow.
Seen it the whole time.
That's a fact.
You see, I would have to give all the glory to God first, because we were definitely on a path where either we were gonna be Amyville's finest gangsters, or we were gonna end up being good-looking corpse. The path we were on, and I honestly gotta say, if it wasn't for my Uncle Tiki telling me, yo, you wanna come work this summer at 14 years old and getting expelled and being able to work while I was expelled and getting in trouble in school. Every time I was in trouble, I'd call him up, yo, let me work, and he would take me, and then. Through that avenue, when he was came home, he was working a job, but then I was like, bro, would you think about being a carpenter? He was like, you know what, I would try it. And from that point on, when we both were underneath two friends of family members, he was learning the carpentry trade and I was learning electrical trade, and seeing what they were able to do with their lives and purchase certain things, going on different trips, they pretty much told us, y'all can have the same thing. They don't tell you that in school, but you could pretty much be a well-established man just off of a trade. And now being able to be like, oh, you need this done, I can call my brother, he does carpentry, I do the electric, and we both can either give you an invoice on one bill, or he'll give you his separate and I'll give you mine separate, and we're both businessmen now. Even though we still young and we come off gangsterish, you know what I mean, or what they would say, thugs, the job is 100% done right.
For sure.
Licensed and insured. Whatever you need, we're here with it. And it's just, we're starting off now. And I believe, in the future, we definitely be able to become a bigger empire if the Lord sees fit.
I think so too. Family, friends kind of took y'all under the wing, and people in the community took y'all under the wing and said, yo. So there's two parts of the community that I want to talk about. One, community aspect of y'all being kids around doing whatever y'all was doing, and people took a chance on you. Y'all, I'm gonna bring him on it. Because this could be, whoever they were, paradise for you, your Uncle Julian.
Yeah.
Your Uncle Julian, for you, they could have been like, yo, I'm not taking these kids. They gonna break something, they gonna steal, they gonna do, you know what I'm saying? They could have been like that, you know what I'm saying? Get them, you know what I'm saying? But they took a chance and said, you know what? Take them under the wing, I'm gonna show them what it is, and now y'all made y'all own lanes out of it. Like, how important do you think that is to, like, now that you've seen it for yourself, do you think that y'all would, like, y'all look to do that for other people? And then Well, yeah, answer that first, and I'm gonna ask the second question.
I believe every employer takes a risk whenever they hire someone that's green. When they say green is a newbie, brand new. Every employer takes a risk on hiring someone that's green, because now it's not just taking the time and just worrying about the bottom line being affected. It's the time, the education that they're giving for free, and maybe they might stay, maybe they might learn a little bit and go. We wanted to learn. We wanted to get nice. We actually really wanted to do that. And that's the reason why they held on to us and wanted to teach us more, because they're like, yo, you're smart kids, you grasp fast, and you like what you're doing. And I could see that the fire and the zest that's burning inside you to get better and get better. And that was the reason why I pretty much think that they held on to us. And we knew when we came to work, we were going to work. It wasn't no playing around, no phone, no texting, no calling on the phone. Like, you do have your little breaks when the boss leave, and you an employee, so you're gonna do, you're gonna slack off. He come back, but why isn't this done? What you doing? Yeah. You know what I mean? And, but that's all the growing curves. You know what I mean? Yep. As to learning how to, what's next? What do you need me to do now? That's all the learning as you go on. But then once you get situated and you understand what needs to be done next, the job moves like this. You know what I mean?
See, how I feel about it, right? It's like, some people gotta have that niche, like that it factor, like you know this is what you want to do and you're going to do it. You're not going to play around with it. See, when it comes to like carpentry, it's like get down and dirty type of work. It's not like you can't just play with it. You feel what I'm saying? Like you got to pay attention, because measurements, everything, you got to be on point, because everything's got to be flush. He's not a really working type of person, so he'll come to work, but he doesn't know how to really do certain things. So it's just certain people don't have that it factor to do certain jobs, and that's okay. Yeah. This field isn't for you, something else is for you. Right. You know what I mean? But it's like you have to be a working type of person. Like I said, you just gotta be. You just gotta have that in you. You know what I mean? Not everybody can be an electrician or a carpenter. You know what I mean? So it's like
maybe plumbing. Or
plumbing or HVAC or. You know what I mean? And like there's other avenues to carpentry, because you could just do installing doors, you could do installing windows, you could just do tile work, you could just do grouting. There's certain different avenues that you can find your niche. You don't have to do everything. You don't have to be a master of all trades. You can just be a master of one trade and get paid good money for it. You know what I mean? Like there's so many different ways you can just find your one thing to do. Because I work for a commercial construction company right now, and they have different females that's on the job that's straight spackle all day, tape and spackle all day. If that's your thing, if you're good at just taping and spackling, master that. You know what I'm saying? You can make good money. You can make $25 an hour just spackling all day. That's you know what I mean? That's good. That's a good job. It might not be a career, but that's a good job. You make good money with that. That can take you to whatever else you might have that you might want to do. There's different jobs that you can use to get to where you're trying to go in life, period. It might not be your set job or your set goal or your set career, but that can definitely help you to get to where you're trying to go.
And even if you like you talking $25 an hour to people who's trying to live a certain lifestyle, that might not be enough, and that's understandable. If you're a kid coming out of high school,
man, that's money.
First job, $25
an hour, just a spackle.
Yeah, dog.
That's
what?
money. 18 years old, that's where it's at.
Man. I have been at jobs with both of y'all, and y'all take the job very seriously, to the point where y'all are arguing with each other like, nah, do this later because I want to make sure I get this done. Nah, Just, this got to make sure this look like this. Jesse, don't do that because you got to, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that part of it is a very important part in doing the work. Like you said, is you got to have that want or that need to make sure that, this is gonna, I want to be a master at this. I want to make sure that I'm gonna get this done. And like you said, they probably seen that in you from a young age to say, okay, let me make sure that I keep these kids around, because they really want to do this. Like they really want to, and like I said in the beginning, y'all had a good head on y'all shoulders from the jump. Like we could see it. Like, y'all, if you can. And most people in our community can look past, because we deal with knuckleheads and people who just want to be around and whatever the case may be all the time. Like we deal with that all the time, so we can see through the BS. We can see through, all right, who really got something that they trying to work towards? Who's really trying to get something? Who's trying to see light at the end of the tunnel? You know what I'm saying? So I want to say that, but then also, I know you like to you work with some of the kids that be at Ronnie's house and stuff like that, and you bring them on jobs with you, like, and you talk to me about certain things that they do with being on their phone all the time and not paying attention to the work and not doing some of the things that y'all were doing when y'all were younger. It's a lot of kids who don't go outside, right? And that can mean a lot of things for a lot of different people. But one of the things that I learned with going outside, I was just talking to Ronnie about this with just small things like Boulder Mac Park. Like, he like, yo, how come when we were growing up, how come like Boulder Mac wasn't the spot that we all went to and stuff like that? I'm like, yo, like, I wanted to go there. And he's like, yo, it's cool. I'm like, yo, I wanted to go there, but it's like, with the people that we were with, not everybody want to go there, you know.
That's a fact.
So he's like, nah, but it's cool though, because we got JF with us, you know, that's the all they go to, right? So he's like, nah, it's cool, we got JF with us. I'm like, yeah, but, and I named one of our friends, I'm not going to say it on the podcast, but I'm like, early on, if you know this person, and you know that they're not necessarily hoopers, but they like to play basketball, they're pretty decent, they play with us, you know what I'm saying? But there's that element when you go to Boulder Mac, you know what I'm saying? That you don't necessarily find when you go to John Jay, when you go to Tanner. And so when you outside like that, you get that grind, that, you know what I'm saying? When you at the park, you hear that you don't hear at John Jay. That, nah, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, you know what I'm saying? You get all of that when you add Boulder Mac, you know what I'm saying? You get all of that, plus more sometimes after the game, you know what I'm saying? So when you see that, or do you feel like there's a lack of that?
See, what it is today. The reason why I work through the questions, the reason why I reach out to the youth now is because I was reached out to when I was young. A lot of kids don't know what they're gonna do after high school. They just live their life and just hope that they're gonna be rappers, hope that they're gonna land a job and make bread. But when you sit there and ask them, how you gonna touch a mill by the time you 25? If that's what you're gonna do, how you gonna touch that? I don't know, but I just know I'm destined for it. So I make them face reality. Tell me how you're destined for it. What is it? What's special that you have? What gift, what craft do you have that's gonna help you achieve or make any type of money? Well, JF, look at you. Like, look how you turned up. Yeah, because I'm an electrician. You want to learn? Come with me in the work, and I'll show you exactly what we do. So they come to me on the job, but they want to be on their phone all the time. Because I know I have them run the line, but I have to do the splicing and things like that because they don't know exactly how to do it. But I'm like, watch me. Instead of watching me, they hop on their phone, start Snapchatting, start listening to music, start talking to the females. I'm like, so you really don't want to be here. You just want to make the money that I'm going to pay you for the day to be here. So it's like, what do you really want to do in life? So then I leave them alone, and then they call me back, yo, Jay, I want to work. I'm serious this time. That happened to me many times, but my uncle kept on me about, yo, do you really want this or not? And that's what it is with the youth. Not enough people are reaching back to tell them, look, man, I understand you want to be young, but if you want to make money, this is what it is. And them not going outside, they don't understand that you're going to be a sheep or you're going to be a wolf. You're going to take it or you're not. Growing up with us, Boulder Mac is not what it was today. We understood if you go there, and we were nice. We were nice. That's just simple as that. And we kill the local drug dealers, the local weed smokers. They going to be tight. They going to be tight, and they going to either want to tussle. So instead of us injuring or hurting ourselves, because when you play with other people that are not real ballers, you get hurt. They want to foul you, all types of crazy. They mad because they losing, or you embarrass them, or you drop them, and you lay them crazy, you chain them. They gonna end up fouling, you gonna get hurt. So instead of us going into that element that all of us aren't really sure if we were ready for, maybe if we're playing with a 5, 2 of us like that. The other 3, yo, why you playing so timid? He not gonna tell you, bro, because I'm not comfortable in this environment. So we just go to John Jay because that element that's at Boulder Mac, you got to be ready to shape. You got to be ready to ball out and get ready for those hard fouls and play through it. And looking at our 5 that we were running with, we'd rather just go to John Jay because honestly, it was more comp up there and everybody went there to ball. And at Boulder Mac, you playing with the local and they smoking weed and cursing and drinking and then they found you crazy. And then if you don't want to fight, because who really want to fight if it's over basketball? You know what I'm saying? Nobody really. But if you want to be like that, I went up there many times and hooped, and you're gonna curse and argue. But you look at your friends and if you love your friends, and if we can go somewhere else to hoop and not have controversy while you're trying to have some fun, why go there?
Let's do that. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Giving the youth that guidance. How you feel about
Oh, for me, it's like, if somebody want to work, I'm all for it. It's just you gotta be really willing to work, cause I'm a laid back person. Y'all know that. I'm very laid back. But when it comes to work, I get very annoyed. It's like, bro, it's just certain things are common sense. Like I said, if certain people don't got it, you know if you got it. You know what I mean? You know if you got it. If you ain't got it, you know that too. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's just very, like, I don't know what work. I have to work with somebody that knows the work. You know what I mean? I can't work with somebody that's new to it. I can give you something to do, but you can't be right next to me doing it though. You feel what I'm saying? I gotta give you something that, like I said, I start off with sanding, start off sanding. I'll have somebody start off sanding the whole wall down or sanding down, wherever I taped and spackled that, you feel what I'm saying? So it's like, you gotta start somebody somewhere so they can learn the work. And you start off sanding so you can learn how to feel. You get your feel for the work. You know something's been sanded down, running your hand along it, seeing how smooth it is, if you feel any bumps, you know what I mean? So it's like, you gotta get a feel for the work at first, especially if you don't know. So I feel like it's, like the way I started, I feel like Paradise was the best teacher that I ever had, because carpentry teaches you a lot about life. It teaches you a lot about everything, you know what I mean? Because it teaches you about mistakes, trial and error, everything, you know what I mean? So, like, the way I learned, he was a great teacher. I can't even hold you. So it's like, if somebody will come to me for me to teach, I'll probably teach them along the same way because I wouldn't know any other better way to teach somebody else,
I feel like a lot of it has to go with the manual labor. The manual labor aspect, a lot of youth don't want to do no manual labor.
Oh, it's hard work. That's what I say. Who wants to sit there, honestly, and sand the wall down for hours like, yo, what's next? This is whack. I'm done. I don't want to do it. But the thing is, that's what I say. You have to find something that you're doing within that time. Like, all right, for me, it was listening to music. And I was going through like a hard breakup at the time. Like I was going through a funny stage in life. So like certain music put me in a certain mood, so it's like, I bet this is what I'm gonna focus on, zone out, and actually enjoy saying it. Like it became something.
Almost like a therapy.
Yeah, it's like a therapy. Like that's exactly what my work is for me. It's therapy. I get lost in my work. Like that's like my comfort zone. I don't really need my phone for nothing. I don't have to text. I don't have to talk to nobody. All I need is music and just get lost in my work. That's why I love working so much, and I can get lost in everything I do in work. It's like my peaceful space. Like going to work is I'm at peace at work, and no matter what I'm doing, anything carpentry wise, I'm at peace. Throw my music in or a podcast on, whatever the case, and I just get lost in my work. That's it.
But touching back to the labor part, a lot of youth feel like manual labor is something that they just don't want to do. They feel like everything should be given and not earned. And honest living is hard work. And for us what's so unique about our story is we grew up not having a father in the picture, not seeing no man really work as hard as we were putting into. But my Uncle Johnny, who we had in our household, got up every day. He was handicapped, all these challenges that he had in his life, but he made sure he got up and went to work every day. So we understood that the importance of work at an early age, and we understood that when we got there, we had people with us that told us, what you put in is what you're going to get out. The only way you make money is by your work ethic. The generation now feels like YouTube and social media and other people they hear about how people making money certain ways, and they all want to make money easy. But some people are blessed by God to make money that easy. Some people got to bust their butt to make money. And when you so if you want to make work easy, that's what the college route is for. If you understand the field you want to go, your academics, everything adds up, then college is the route for you. But if you know school's not your thing and you just want to make money, then the trade is more your route for you. And I feel like a lot of people in the community, and especially minorities, they don't understand the difference. And once they get to that senior year, and all your friends are going to college, and you're just like, yo, what you gonna do? You gonna go to Suffolk for 2 years or Nassau? They get stuck there because now they're stuck in the community. Now they see some of their friends are selling drugs. Some people are doing drugs. Some people are, scamming. They feel like that's the only way they make money because they have not been introduced to another avenue of, yo, you can work a trade right out of high school and make decent living. You can make $1,000, $700 to $1,000 a week off of a trade if you just take the time just to learn it.
Would you recommend anything to them? What
Yes.
would you say to them? What would you?
If you're not happy where you at, you gotta leave. Like if you've been there for 10 some odd years or whatever, and they're not trying to increase your salary or not trying to pay you, I guess, more, feel like you're not getting your worth, you gotta go to another company. If you don't feel like you're getting treated correctly, you gotta move on. And it's obviously, this is not the place for me. If I'm not happy or if this isn't working out, I gotta go and try something else. You can't be afraid to leave somewhere else and try somewhere else. There's other construction job sites out there. You might could just walk into a job like, hey, you looking for extra help? This is such and such. This is what I know. I got my old shirt, 30, whatever case is like. You come with them correctly, they might need you for that day. You do a superb job. Hey, listen, come back tomorrow. Hey, we might find a spot for you. You feel what I'm saying? On the crew, like, you never know. Just don't ever settle. You know what I mean? Don't settle. You know what I mean? And this job field, always keep your drive for more. Like, don't get too comfortable, don't get complacent, you know what I mean? Just always want more for yourself. It's like, just keep driving forward until you finally, like, I can't say wherever you're gonna get, you're gonna be comfortable at, because everybody always gonna want more, you know what I mean? Like, no matter where you move up at in life, you always gonna want more, you know what I mean? So it's just like, just keep your drive pushing forward. I can't believe somebody been there for 10 years and nothing's changed. No, I can't do that. You get stagnant. You don't get stagnant. Keep it moving. Keep it pushing. Like, I just feel like don't settle. You know what I mean? I just feel bad for some people that are at this age that didn't know any better before, because like your body starts to wear down on you. Like, you know how we used to pull all-nighters and then go work a double shift and then go back out that same night. Like, and then in fact, us now at this age, at 28, like, I could probably do the same thing, but I'm gonna feel it like, what's that in my back? Like, damn, I need a massage. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't do as much. So it is important to just work smart too. You know what I mean? If you could, don't work as hard, work smart. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's like more self-explanatory when it comes on the job type of things. Like, like, don't try to lift something too heavy, ask for help, stuff like that. You know what I mean? You just gotta be aware of certain things, Just don't settle and just work smart and just keep your drive. That's it. Just keep pushing forward. That's it.
See, that's why I find that it's so key and it's so important to go. The schooling part or the apprenticeship part underneath someone is so important, because you could go to school at night and work the job, because a lot of people out there that have been working those jobs for 10 years can't leave because of the money aspect, because they're providing for their family, children, so on and so forth. If there's something else that you want to do, understanding that you have to work this job, that's why the second part of your day is important. You could find something where if you want to learn a trade, there's a school you can go to at night, so you can be so far advanced so that after the schooling is done, or while you're in the schooling, if you can go find a job that's able to pay you the same amount of money that you're making there, that at your regular job, and even though you're in school, you could go to work and then go to school at night and start on your other career right away. Mm-hmm. Or you could still work that job, go to school at night. Once you're done with that job, once you're done with schooling, you can go apply for another job and you can make that same amount of money. I'm pretty sure that they're paying you at that job at your new career that you decided to study and go to school at. It's all about the hustle, hard work, and I definitely understand that. You have to have that structure at home or someone there to help watch the kids or understand that's something that you want to do, because to be honest, we all find time to do the things that we like to do.
Of course.
And the best investment you could do is invest in yourself. And if you're stuck in a place where this is not what I want to do, something else I want to do, don't be afraid to try it, because 90% of the shots you don't take, you miss. You know what I'm saying? So, and all it takes is that one bucket to go in to get you hot. Now you seen that first one drop, it's the icebreaker. You could have missed 70 shots in a row, but that one that go in, that's it. It's like, I'm hot now, you know what I mean? So all it takes is that one bucket to drop and you're good to go. But I would say, yeah, man, don't be afraid to take risks, because we definitely took a whole lot of risks with our lives. And through the grace of God, we were able to bounce back from it. And
that's a fact.
we are the men where we are today because of just being persistent and not letting the naysayers say whatever they want to say about us. You just gotta get up every day.
Keep pushing forward. Don't settle, man. That's it.
You got a new chance at life. You can always come back from a disaster that you think it was, and what the devil meant for evil, God made it for good. And we took all the challenges of our lives, the incarcerations, motherless children, fatherless children, and we put all of that pain inside a career that we knew was going to make us money further down the line. We need to know this type of information, because if the Caucasian community can do that and help each other out, why can't the black community do the same thing and help each other build empires? You know what I mean? And that's all what it pretty much boils down to.
All right, man. Yeah. On that note, let's build empires, man. My
Yes,
guys.
Yes, sir.
Just.
Yeah, ready?
Yes.
Yeah, ready, my guy.
And that's for the community podcast.
Yeah, ready.